you raised $360,000, actually over $360,000, for something that you came up with all on your own called COVID-19 Protest Relief Fund. I want to talk about this right away because it's so important and inspiring. Tell us what that fund is.
It's basically a fund for protesters who are out on the front lines fighting in this, what I call the uprising for our justice and equality. And in the midst of our pandemic and putting the risks in their bodies on the line, some of them being in communities that are already at high risk. And I was like, man, there should be some kind of relief for treatment, for some bills, for some bail relief, for injuries, seeing all of the attacks that were happening on protesters just for using their American right to speak out. So I just wanted to do something because I was having a bunch of different conversations with folks and including my family who's high risk. So I couldn't be outside when the protests were happening. And I was like, I usually am. So I'm like, damn, I kind of feel a little useless in this whole movement. I need to do something. And I was like, man, there's a lot of bodies out there. Somebody should come up with a relief fund. Like somebody should do that. And when I said somebody, I meant like the government because it's like their jobs. But I guess that was like wishing too much. So then I said that for like 2 weeks. And then I was like, well, why don't you do that? Just start a GoFundMe. People do it all the time. I had never done a GoFundMe before. So I just kind of Googled how to GoFundMe and just went to the site, did it. And I was like hoping that it would maybe catch on and some other people like that were more prominent would do it and make. I didn't know what we would make that much money. And by the 5th hour, we were like already over $80,000. And I was like, oh wow, man, I need to figure out how to give money to the people because I don't play with people's money, So that became a 3-week crash course, getting to know organizers across the country, getting to know activists, learning what a nonprofit versus a mutual aid fund was, which ours is a mutual aid fund, and learning how it operates. Because my whole thing was getting the money to the people as quickly as we could. But I guess I had the best. I was in the best scenario where it's like usually you start a mutual aid fund or a non-for-profit, and then you like try to raise money. I had all the money and no knowledge. So between all the help and the organizers that really educated me on a lot of things I needed to know. I was able to set it up and get it going, and it's been really cool to be on the other side of it now, where the logistics are kind of worked out, and now we're just trying to get as much money out to the people and make as big an impact as possible.
Good for you. I mean, God bless you. That's an amazing thing to do. I would think it would be I could see you being panicked if $360,000 comes in. And you want to get it to the people, but there's this period of time where the money is just pouring in, and you think like, how do I get rid of this money?
Yeah.
Like being on Breaking Bad, like there's money coming in. I gotta get rid of this stuff.
Yeah, because I was like, I was waking up like, I gotta get rid of this because I'm just a comic, man. I want to make dick jokes, man. There were so many times, Conan, that I almost tweeted I bought a chain with it instead. Just a joke. But I was like, I can't do this. I can't until I figure out how to do this. I can't.
I know. It's a funny joke, but people would get pissed off for a second.
Yeah, man. But yeah, it was like a lot of stress because it was a world I'm not familiar with. But I'm so glad I did it. And on top of that, we've worked with the Chicago Alliance and the Black Lives Matter Chicago. And a bunch of other organizations just getting masks to people, taking care of tests. We've been getting so many cool notes about people like being able to pay their rent because they're not behind in these medical bills. And there's a lot of people just getting beat up, man. A lot of people getting beat up, a lot of iPhones were broken in the uprising. We've been able to take care of folks, and it's been the best. It's been a joy, man. It's been something that brings a lot of light to what's been a stressful time for me personally, for sure, as everybody else.